Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss sympathomimetic drugs. So, as the name indicates, if we split this word into two sections, the first section is sympatho, and the second term which is mentioned is mimetic. So, actually, this word, if we split up into two sections, sympatho means sympathetic nervous system. Whereas when we talk about mimetic mean enhance, increase. So sympathomimetic drugs are those drugs that are responsible for stimulation of sympathetic nervous system. So the mechanism of action for sympathomimetic agents, there are three type of mechanisms. Number one is direct acting, and what happened that this is a post synaptic target cell membrane, and these are the neurons, and then the neurotransmitters, they attach directly to the receptor. So what happened, this is the receptor, this is are the neurotransmitters, they bind directly at post synaptic target cell membrane, and then the response will be produced. So it is the direct response with the receptor. And the neurotransmitters we're talking about are norepinephrine from the vesicles. Second is the indirect acting action. And when we talk about indirect action, we are talking about the drugs that enhance the release of norepinephrine. So in indirect action, there will be some drugs that is responsible to enhance the release of norepinephrine, and then it then bind with the receptor. So this is indirect. Why indirect? Because the drug is involved for increasing the release of norepinephrine. Then the third thing is a mixed acting, which act both way with the directly with the norepinephrine binding with the receptors, and with the help of drug that increase the release of norepinephrine. So they are three mechanisms that occur in sympathomimetic agents. Let's take a look of catecholamines. They are classified into non-selective adrenoreceptor agonists such as epinephrine and norepinephrine, and non-selective beta agonists such as isoproterenol. Then we have dopamine, which work differently at low doses and at high doses. At low doses, it reduces the peripheral resistance, whereas at high dose, it activates alpha receptor and have epinephrine-like effects. So what are the epinephrine-like effects? The epinephrine-like effects such as it can cause vasoconstriction, increase the blood pressure on alpha-1 receptors. If it act on beta-1 receptors, it can cause increase of the cardiac contraction and increase in heart rate. Or if it act on beta-2 receptors, it can cause bronchodilation and the decrease in the release of the mediators. Then we have phenol-dopam that activate D1 receptors, causes the peripheral vasodilation effect. The other examples are dobutamine that activate alpha-1 and beta-1 receptors, and they are present in the market in the form of infusion 12.5 milligram per ml. This is a picture of epinephrine auto-injectors that commonly available in the market, and they have some functions. They are present in the form of auto-injectors, and they are used in emergency condition for the treatment of anaphylaxis. And why? Because if we go back in my previous slide, and I'm talking about the epinephrine-like effects, and I already mentioned that it is responsible for decreasing the mediators. So during allergic reactions or anaphylactic shock, they are used in emergency conditions. Then we have norepinephrine, which is present in the market in the name of Levophed, and their injection has been used in the form of 4 milligram per 4 ml. It means 1 milligram per ml, and for intravenous only. And norepinephrine has been used for the treatment of hypotension because it can cause vasoconstriction. So in hypotension, it is effective for the treatment. Then we have isoproterenol. If we take a look of this news clipping from napavalleyregister.com, and they mention drug take back, they return to Napa country. So actually they are making one day for the people, so that if somebody is misusing drugs like epinephrine, and people will come and they return these injectors. Why? Because epinephrine is responsible for uh, misusing as a stimulant. Although we know the medical use of epinephrine is in the treatment of anaphylactic shock, but home generated needles and syringes of epinephrine auto-injectors have been prepared to misuse. So they dedicated one day for this drug so that people will return back and follow the laws and regulation. Now next is non-catecholamine, and the example is phenylephrine. They are also belong to the alpha agonist, which is not metabolized by COMT, which is known as catechol O methyl transferase, and they have a much longer duration of action. And phenylephrine has been used for mydriasis, decongestion, and increase in blood pressure. Then we have ephedrine, which act on beta agonist. It penetrate into the central nervous system and having a stimulant effect. Uh, and the most commonly example of the use of ephedrine is the use of the pseudoephedrine, which is more widely used for nasal decongestion, and it is available in the market in over the counters. Phenylephrine hydrochloride for cough syrup, or for we can see Sudafed for congestion, nasal congestion. And then we have non-catecholamine, and the example are xylometazoline or oxymetazoline, which are direct alpha agonist acting agents. They are also used for decongestion and nasal sprays. Then the other example in non-catecholamine are amphetamines, which is also used as drug abuse, such as for central nervous system stimulants. And students, especially undergraduate students in the universities, in the medical colleges, they especially use these amphetamines for waking for long term, for working for long hours. But I will never recommend to use them, so please be careful. And they are CNS stimulant, they are appetite depressant. People can work for long hours for stimulant effect. Then methamphetamine, which is more the higher complicated than amphetamine, having higher CNS effect and common drug for abuse. So this is the product Otrivin that contain xylometazoline 1 milligram per ml, or we have drugs such as Adderall and 30 milligram that is also used as CNS stimulant. And they mention in many articles why Sudafed is behind the counters. The Sudafed, this is the product which is used for sinus congestion, and that contains pseudoephedrine. Why it is banned and why it is not over the counter? The answer is that because Sudafed is responsible for making methamphetamine. So pseudoephedrine is responsible for making the methamphetamine. How we make methamphetamine from pseudoephedrine? It's pure a chemical process. And they mention why Sudafed is behind the counter, a meth chemistry lesson. So it means that pseudoephedrine, if anybody have the excess of pseudoephedrine, you can make methamphetamine very easily. So that is why they are not present on the counter, and nowadays prescription available only under the prescription. You can take a look of this news article, click this link, and then you can found the detail of that. As our we are not interested in understanding the chemistry, so I'm not going to explain that. Then we are talking again that methamphetamine are cheap nasty things, and they are responsible for a lot of addiction stimulant as well. This is a cartoon to explain how amphetamine is dangerous, and they mention why I was on amphetamine in my wild youth. I could write 25 pages paper in an hour on a manual typewriter, but not in any known language. So that is hilarious that she is talking about that the use of amphetamine. She can write anything on that typewriter on 25 pages, and she don't know what she is writing. And that is a central nervous system effect, CNS effect of amphetamine, because it is such a strong stimulant that it can be make you active for long hours, and sometimes you don't know what you are doing or what you are talking, and that's why a lot of abusers that are using amphetamine, they face lot of mental problems with that. So the clinical application of them, they are responsible for increasing the blood pressure, preserve cerebral or coronary blood flow, severe bleeding, spinal cord injury, overdosage of antihypertensive or CNS depressant. And direct acting alpha agonists are used, especially norepinephrine, phenylephrine, or methoxamine. Then it is also used for postural or orthostatic hypotension. Then it is used for reducing the blood flow. They are worked as an alpha stimulant, and they are responsible for as because they are stimulant and they are responsible for reducing the blood flow. They are using in surgeries to stop the bleeding. Ephedrine and cocaine are the example as an alpha stimulant. Then they are also responsible for preventing diffusion of local anesthetics such as epinephrine. Then it is also used as decongestion such as pseudoephedrine. They also have the pulmonary applications such as the use of beta 2 agonist in asthma, especially as a bronchodilation effect and reduction in secretions. The other applications are anaphylaxis, bronchospasm, mucous membrane congestion, angioedema, severe hypotension, and the common example is epinephrine, which I already mentioned that epinephrine auto-injector has been used for anaphylactic shock or for anaphylactic reaction if somebody eat any food that are allergen or that he is allergic to, so it can be treated using epinephrine. Then it is also responsible for congestion and angioedema, specifically severe hypotension. Then it also have the ophthalmic use, and such as the mydriasis effect using phenylephrine, or in the treatment of glaucoma. Their adverse effects are it is responsible for causing arrhythmias, which is known as irregular heartbeat. Then it is also responsible for headache, hyperactivity because amphetamine, they are all stimulants. Then insomnia, people misuse these drugs for working long hours, nausea, then tremors. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again.